said I'd end the video with an explanation of the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, because a lot of the top 10 things were confusing type 1 and type 2. So I'm just going to explain that real quick. If you're not interested, exit out. If you are, stay tuned, because you're going to get educated.
Wait. Actually, I changed my mind about that. I am now only going to talk about type 1 on this channel because I just feel like I don't know enough about type 2. I know the basics, but there's so much variation in type 2 also, and I just feel like type 2 is like way too broad of a category for me to just generalize about, and so I'd rather just stick with type 1, and so that's the only one I'm going to be explaining. If you want to learn about type 2, find another YouTuber, I guess, or Google it. But I just know a lot more about type 1 since that's the one I have, and I just really want to speak from personal experience and not from what I've heard. So this will be only about type 1, because that's what I am. Sorry about that. So, back to you, Danica.
So, here we go. Basically, I'm not going to say this is the case for every type 1, but in general, type 1 diabetics like myself, you can remember 1 because I'm number 1, they are usually younger, so I was 11 when I got diabetes. So type 1 diabetics do not get diabetes from being overweight or not exercising enough. Type 1 diabetics, it's genetic, so I have diabetes in my family apparently, but actually when I got it, I didn't know anybody who had diabetes, so that was really weird. But it is genetic, so it's somewhere in there. And what happens is it's in your genes, and then you run into a virus that basically triggers it, and your immune system starts working, but it starts working against itself. So my immune system attacked my pancreas. I'm referencing my abdomen right here, but you obviously can't see that. Not that I know where my pancreas is. Fun fact, your pancreas is behind your stomach. The point is, your immune system attacks your pancreas and kills the cells in it that produce insulin. And insulin helps your blood sugar stay regulated. It keeps it from going too high. So when you don't have insulin, your blood sugar goes high, and that causes all kinds of problems for your body because it needs to have the right amount of sugar, not too much, not too little, to function well. And so the way I get insulin is through an insulin pump, which is this beautiful thing. I'm trying to turn it on for you. I have an Animus one. I'll show you the little... Ow, I've been kneeling too long. Oh, crap. Woo! Alright, so I'll show you the little set. It's basically like a little IV. I just put in a new one. But you change it every 3 days. Here's the tubing. So it's a lot better than shots, because when I was on shots, I had to give eventually 6 shots a day, and it got to be ridiculous, and it wasn't working anymore. And so I switched to the pump, and I love it. So I'll do a video later explaining about the pump and why am I out of breath. This kneeling is just killing me. So I'll do a video explaining about the pump for shots and kind of how the pump works, but that's what I do now. So the point is my body doesn't produce insulin, so I have to get it artificially. Type 1 diabetics, like I said, are typically younger, but older people are getting it too now. It's not from being overweight. We take insulin, and we do not have a diet. Type 1 diabetics do not have a diet. You may have a meal plan if you're on shots, which is just you have to have a certain amount of carbs for each meal, but you don't have a diet. You don't have to be I have to have this much vegetables and this much meat and this much protein, or meat is protein, but whatever. So basically all I do is I count carbs, and so for every 10 grams of carb, I give 1 unit of insulin. So I count my carbs, and then I divide it by 10. My pump does it for me, but I put the carbs in, and it tells me how much insulin I have to give, and I give it, and then I eat, and then they all match up. So it's basically always a balance game between your carbs and your insulin, so they balance out to be canceling each other out so that your blood sugar is great. So that's basically type 1. You don't have to exercise, although it's a good idea because it makes it so you take less insulin generally, but yeah, no diet, insulin, no pills, yeah, and I wasn't fat to get it. Cool.